Dear brothers, last year towards the end of the summer, I decided I was going to pick up the game of tennis. I have a bunch of clients who play. I work in the tennis and golf field, but I didn't play. Figured I should try it out. So I laid out a plan that I was going to be a 4.0 by the USTA rating system in 30 days. An absolutely ridiculous claim, but why not shoot for the stars and see what happens? I was going to record the whole thing and cut it all up and show people my progress and maybe inspire them a little bit. Fun fact, I got to about day 21 of filming and was over it. Made every excuse in the book that I didn't want to continue filming. Quite simply, I just wanted to stop. In hindsight, I think it was mostly because I was so far away from the goal that I had set out that I just decided to quit altogether. So failure number one, I used a bunch of excuses to not finish what I said I was going to do. Not great. So how is my tennis game today? In all honesty, it's actually gotten pretty good, relatively speaking. I've taken my fair share of lessons. I probably play 2 to 3 days a week for the last 7-ish months. I have no doubt improved, but Lord knows I'm far from where I would like to be. But the more compelling point is that I've gotten back into playing competitive sports now, and I have found something that I had once forgotten, which is my love for making excuses, especially when I'm not good at something. Examples. The ball is flat. It bounced off the line and made it really hard for me to hit it cleanly. That's why. I'm too tired from my last few workouts and I just can't get to those drop shots or lop shots today. The racket's too light. The strings are too tight. The clay is too dry today. I'm slipping everywhere. There's a bump over there on the court. What do you mean? You want me to swing through the ball without going 1,000 miles an hour? How can I swing through something without going fast? I haven't played long enough to compete with some of these folks. They've just had longer to get better. That's why I'm struggling right now. My contacts are bothering me. I can't see anything clearly. How on earth am I supposed to compete when I can't see? That's why I'm struggling. The list is seemingly endless. Oftentimes, I'm saying these excuses under my breath or they're just in my head, but it is amazing how frequently they are popping up all the time. The moral of this story is that I use these excuses to cover up the fact that I'm a beginner, but more that I'm just not very good yet at this new sport. And so beginners fail a lot, and that's a part of it, but I'm not accepting that. It's incredible that in every other adventure in my life, be it this podcast or my work with athletes and lifters, that I fully understand this. I get that things don't go well and you have to learn from your mistakes. And in doing so, you become better at it. You fail, you learn, you get better. You fail, you learn, you get better. But in this competitive world of tennis, I find myself being the king of excuse making. So failure number two, I have used excuses to cover up the fact that I'm just not very good yet. Quick story, not 2 months ago, I was playing with a guy and it was the day I had just gotten some new contacts. So my eyes have a host of issues and finding contact lenses has been a bit of a struggle my entire life. This day was no different. My eyes were dry, they were blurry, I could see double a little bit, they just didn't feel great. I was playing an objectively much better player than I am, but every shot that I mishit or every mistake that I made, I was cursing my eyesight. I can't fucking see. I must have said that 50 times. Under my breath usually, but there were definitely a few times where it was much louder than that. Almost like I wanted him to hear it so that he realized he wasn't beating me. It was because my eyes were blurry and crappy that I couldn't compete that day. So as I was walking back towards the baseline after another failed volley, I thought to myself, what a little bitch you are. Making these complaints. Is that what strong men do? Complain when things are hard? When there are roadblocks or difficulties that come his way? Does he just lay down like a dog? Whine? You talk all the time about being a man and manning up and pushing through adversity, yet here you are, you little hypocritical fuckboy. use this adversity. Fuck your eyes. You can't change that right now. Focus up, straighten your posture, come up with some new tactics, and don't let the excuse shit leave your mouth again. So this was a fun little pep talk to have with myself. At that point, I was down 2 sets. He beat me 6-1, 6-1, which for those of you who don't know tennis, that's an ass whooping. And so I have my little pep talk. I then proceed to win the next 2 sets, 6-4, 6-4. And I lost the 5th set in a tiebreaker. I still couldn't see. My eyes were still burning. They were blurry. I was seeing double. They were irritated. But I had made the decision that complaining was a sign of weakness. There was nothing honorable about it, and I needed to change my tune. Boom. I was back in the match, playing well, nothing to do with physical issues, and everything to do with my mental game just being weak. But in that moment, I was able to overcome it. The next week, guess what? Those excuses were trying to come out of my lips again. They were at the very least in my mind. But this time, I felt a little more ready. I had some practice last week. I channeled what I had done in that prior match. And although those excuses still tried to conquer me, I said no. Check it out. All of us love to use excuses, clearly me included. Be it in business, with exercising, with your relationships, trying to write a book, being present with your family, whatever. We're always looking at reasons why we are not succeeding in those areas. And often we like to look somewhere else. It's always someone else's fault or something external to us. Just look at me. The guy who's hopefully supposed to be inspiring all of you is just as guilty of this. Understand something though. Men have been utilizing excuses since the beginning of time. I'll refer again to Adam, who pointed the finger at Eve and God. It is this woman you gave me, who gave me the fruit. It is their fault. In Exodus, we even hear about the great Moses making excuses why he shouldn't be the one that God calls to lead the Israelites and go see Pharaoh. He says, "O Lord, I am not very good with words, never have been, and I'm not now. Even though you have spoken to me, I get tongue-tied and my words get tangled. Lord, please, send anyone else." There is nothing which calls down more calamity than making excuses for what we have been called to do. We're called to work hard, to pursue excellence, to face difficulties with a proud chest, with patience, to be protectors, to be leaders, to be men of character. When we throw excuses out there, we're really spitting on our calling, our unique and beautiful calling to be all of those things I just mentioned. So forget the excuses, guys. You're no doubt going to complain. You will absolutely have excuses for actions or inactions for that matter. When those things pop up, realize that they are opportunities for you to abolish the weakness that is in your soul. An opportunity to show piety by fighting such base thoughts and continuing in your pursuit of excellence. It doesn't matter if this is in tennis, writing your manuscript, serving the community, trying to lose 50 pounds. Buck the excuses and push forward. As always, God bless, be strong, and get rid of the excuses, fellas. We'll see you.